excited to be here with Julian, with Guy, and with Gavin to talk to you about some NFTs that we can actually do something with. But before we get into that, I just want to go kind of around the table here, and I guess I shouldn't move the microphone hand, and just get a quick, like, 2-3 sentences from each of you on, what your protocol does, give the people a quick synopsis, and then we can kind of dive into the questions from there. So, Julian, if you want to take it.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Julian Jonestou. I'm the CEO and founder of Unlock Protocol, and we're really building a protocol like HTTP for memberships. So it's a way for any creator, companies, brands, organization to deploy a membership contract that is fully theirs and then sell each membership in the form of an NFT that has an expiration date.
Hey everyone, I'm Guy Zyskind, founder of SCRT Network. SCRT Network, for those who don't know, it's a Cosmos layer 1 chain, one of the bigger Cosmos chains, but its call to fame and unique features is that it allows end-to-end privacy-preserving smart contracts. That actually means it's basically the first open network, open systems that allows developers to build applications where all data remains private and encrypted end-to-end. It's like the first decentralized computation machine in the world.
Hey everybody, glad to be here today. I'm Gavin Gillis. I'm the founder of Project Bankman. We're an NFT production studio that focuses on helping white label and deploy membership programs for celebrity-led brands and major loyalty programs across the world.
All right, thanks guys. So jump right in here and just ask the question that's on everyone's mind when it comes to NFTs, which is, what can each of your protocols do to enable a sort of another wave of NFT adoption? Each of you have your own different angle. So Julian, again, you're the closest to me, man, so you're going first.
I'm starting for sure. So I long believed that NFTs are not collectible, they are not images, they are a primitive. In the same way that the domain name is a primitive. They're basically just a tool that you can use to do many, many different things. You can do certifications, you can do media memberships, you can do tickets to conferences, you can do collectibles, you can do game items. But if you think about NFTs as a primitive, now you realize it doesn't really matter, that image XYZ is more valuable than image ABC. It really is something that you can use in many different contexts. With Unlock, people have built all of this thing that I've described, so certification, tickets to conferences, media memberships, DAO membership, club memberships, and really, I guess the secret power of the NFTs that are created here is the fact that they have an expiration date, which means that they're only valid for a certain time. So think of a media membership that allows creators to have recurring revenue where every month people have to renew their membership, their NFT, and extend it by another month.
Yes, I mean, NFTs in general obviously are very exciting. It's a token, in a sense, a proof of ownership protocol that attaches to some data that it links to. Now, but I think that NFTs, we're all here because we're excited about it, but at the same time, NFTs kind of pinpoint the problem that blockchains have in general and Web3 has in general, and that is that it's a great place to kind of prove ownership, to kind of make sure that no one tamper with what you have, right? Bitcoin, no one can tamper with your money, spend it for you, steal your money. NFTs, no one can steal your NFT, take your NFT. If you own it, it's yours. But NFTs has this additional data layer, right? And it can encode anything in the world, whether it's art, programs, contracts, identity, whatever you want. But to me, that actually shows where blockchain is the weakest, and that is privacy. At the end of the day, there's the common joke that anyone can right-click save your NFT. And in some cases it's fine, but in many cases it's not fine. And so we, on our blockchain, we essentially provide this second privacy layer, this secret NFT layer, if you will, where you can actually encode data that can only be decrypted and viewed by the owner herself. And that opens up the options to many, many more use cases that we haven't seen until today.
That's awesome. Yeah, we work chain agnostic, so we work with our clients and really plan out what the brand wants to do to reach out to its members, to create utility, to build a story. And then we walk them through the options. If they want to have privacy protection in place for a utility portion of their NFT, we can use something like Secret. If they want to have these billable recurring subscriptions, Unlock Protocol has all those tools, and they're set up with the public goods to be able to do that. The first thing we just launched this last month was the Bill Murray NFT collection. So Bill Murray is an icon of ours. Our company is named after his character in Ghostbusters. And we were the very first NFT project to drop on Coinbase NFT. And we 5x'd any other project that's dropped on there. It's a collection of stories of his life, had the utilities actual member events with the actor. There's lots of other fun things that we get to do there. But it's really this chance to take this esoteric thing, which is this NFT wrapper, and try and load these membership components into it, and use this new technology for as hard and as new as it is, to deliver a better experience, to tell a story together, and to pull a whole community together. We got hacked last month when we raised money for charity, and that was really terrible. You never want to be the founder of a company that gets hacked. And we just raised money for a 3-year-old girl with epilepsy. $180,000 was the winning bid for a single NFT, and the next day, the wallet's getting drained. And so, from a technology perspective, we were able to recover everything else from the wallet. Chainalysis, the folks here, I'll put a plug in for them because they jumped right in and helped out. 3-letter agencies in the US helped out. So there's some really cool things that came out of that from a recovery perspective, but also the community. The other bidders at the auction pooled money in and ended up giving this 3-year-old more money than we'd actually closed at the auction. So there's a technology component to everything we do, but it's also cool to see that manifest into a community and see them step up when bad things happen.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, in the end it worked out for her and for you guys, so that's great, man. So as you guys look to sort of onboard these different partners you've worked with, I know Secret, you've done a few different film NFTs with the likes of Tarantino and others. You've obviously done the Bill Murray one. How do you pitch your services to them? Obviously these people are not crypto native, and they don't know what we know. So how do you go about pitching that stuff to them? And Julian, you look like you're ready to go again, man.
Yeah, sure. So the way we pitch is actually a bit harder and a bit different. We're really trying to come from the idea that the web's business model until now has been around attention, around ads, and that needs to change. It's creating a ton of externalities. This is not the topic of today's event, but really this is bad. And one of the opportunities of NFTs, I think, is that actually bring a way to monetize things in a different way. So we've seen, these collectibles are sold as a way for artists to generate revenue that are not tied to how much attention they can steal. And we think that's actually one of the really useful things about NFTs is another way of monetizing content. So that's what we use when we pitch people. It's okay, let's start thinking about how you can change the way you make money to something that is more aligned with your business needs and business goals, and aligned with your community, something where your fans are actually supporting your work, rather than you selling their data to some random third party that is interested in selling their, I was going to say a bad word, selling messy things to them.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, there's bad press, and there's bad actors in the NFT space and in the crypto space in general. And as founders and as members of this community, we have to own a little bit of that, and we have to kind of punch back around, what really does this technology enable and do. And so if you look at the work we're doing in the membership side, great loyalty programs already have a game involved. You earn points, you jump up in status, you unlock all these perks and benefits. And what can our technology do that's one step better than that? What's the 10% progress point that you can really unlock? And for a lot of the things that we're doing is, it's provable membership, it's transferable membership, and that means instead of managing, in the Web 2 world, it's all about what's your customer lifetime value, what's your customer acquisition costs, these startup metrics. And what we see in these top blue chip NFT collections is they're thinking more not about the individual, but about the cohort. So what does this collection of 10,000 people want to do? We know they'll churn, but every time they churn, they make money. If you leave the collection, you're selling off your NFT, and someone else is putting down crypto, hard dollars to join the membership. And so it's a different way of thinking about memberships, it's a different way of thinking about community, because many times, your entire community is anonymous except for that wallet address. And you have to plan and think differently. And so this technology really enables that transferability, that easy in and easy out of a program. Whereas if I built up a ton of status on an airline and I stop flying, I'm out of luck. I just lose that. In this case, we have provable ownership, we have transferable ownership, and now you feel like an owner of an asset versus a member or a transactional, a customer that's having to pay. Now I'm a member of something.
Yeah, so I think it kind of boils down to three things, right? Especially when you're talking to artists, doesn't matter if these are like in the film industry, music industry, just like fine art, or anything else that you can think about. At the end of the day, the current models are really like walled gardens. Nobody's happy about them. Not the people at the bottom of the food chain, and not the people at the top of the food chain. It doesn't matter. Everyone understands that this is not great. So that's the first thing. You talk, you see it, you talk about these things, everyone understands the problem, and then, okay, can NFTs, can this new Web3 movement and technology help? That's the question. That's the harder part, because there's, again, so much misconception on mainstream media, especially when things are like now more like bearish, bear market. It's easier for the media to kind of like come and attack. So when you come to these people, these high-profile people who, this is not their day-to-day, they don't understand the nuances, now you need to educate them and explain to them, like any new nascent technology, there's like so much potential, this is so amazing, and here are the 5 ways this can completely disrupt your industry to the better. And at that point, you either succeed or you don't, but from our perspective, it was actually easier to convert the likes of Tarantino and Kevin Smith, because even, they're at the top of the food chain in their industry, but that's not where they started. And these are people who are kind of like outliers or misfits in a sense in their own way. They were actually the trailblazers. They were the one who started this indie movie movement. So they really resonate with the message of Web3. And combining all of that together, these people are like, okay, this could be the future. We want to do this. And that's kind of like how you get things in motion.
So kind of playing off that point, do you guys think that it's the same process to sort of prep the fans of the artists and the creatives that you're supporting for what's coming? I think we've seen a lot that NFTs can be quite unpopular, to put it frankly, when it comes to non-crypto people that aren't even the builders or the consumers. So do you guys think about it the same way, or are there subtle differences there? How do you approach it?
I think it's the same education. You're going to educate brands, you're going to educate partners in the same way you educate your fans, but you also have to take a concierge and almost teacher approach right now. 60% of our Bill Murray NFT holders, this is their very first wallet they set up and the very first crypto transaction. And we didn't have any easy help there. There was you couldn't slap down a credit card, you had to go buy ETH, you had to wrap it, you had to bid. So that was a lot of barriers to put in front of an audience that maybe loves the actor or loves the broader web community that we partnered with, but they didn't know crypto. And so what did that mean? Our client recreated a scene from The Big Short where we explained NFTs in a bubble bath. We did a lot of webinars, we recorded some fireside chats on YouTube, and then we just created a Discord, and we got 7,000 real people from our community in there just talking every day. And the cool thing is there was a kind of a flip after 2 weeks where it wasn't us explaining and breaking things down, it was members of the community actually helping each other, pointing them to links and resources, and coaching them through it and screenshotting things for other members. And so that's also a relief, and you can take some of the education off your shoulders, and you can have members of your community actually step up and help co-teach.
So actually that's a great point about the user experience. So 2 things that we kind of learned. First of all, because of the misconceptions, if you're an iconic figure, your community is gonna come at you on Twitter and other places and say, oh no, this is bad, this kills the environment, all that. All of these are easily explainable, but that's education. So luckily we have a community of about 200,000 people. Anytime there was, and many of them I'd say are high quality, these are not your general shield army. So anytime there was misconceptions from fans, people from our community just organically came in and responded and kind of corrected the message. And that kind of, I guess, grassroots educational mechanism is, I think, very, very useful for the entire space in the long run. But the other point I want to touch is the UX part. So we, like, with Kevin Smith especially, with Kevin Smith what we did, and I think that was like groundbreaking, we released the first movie ever as an NFT. And because of the way Secret works, the NFT itself is encrypted, and only if you own it and bought the NFT, minted the NFT, can you actually watch the movie and then resell it and so forth. And there's no gatekeepers, there's no centralized servers hidden that can shut down one day and kill your NFT. It's all out there, you know, for the next 200, 500 until the death of the universe. So that's really cool. But the problem is that, like, so many fans of Kevin Smith came to us and said, look, I don't understand crypto. This is Kevin Smith's new movie, I want to see it. I don't know what Ethereum is, I don't know what Secret is, I don't know all of that. Now we didn't have enough time technically to put all of the kind of experience that we wanted, but what we learned was that actually our network can actually solve crypto UX and NFTs. It's critical for the better. And that's the second part. With our technology, you can onboard users much easier, much more seamlessly, because what we can do, and we're going to do in the future, is that say we release something like another new movie. We're not going to ask people to download the wallet, get Ethereum, get Secret, get whatever. We're going to tell them, log in, just like as they're used to, like on Amazon, check out with a credit card. Under the hood, it will generate the wallet for you in the fly. But here's where Secret comes in. Secret can store private data. So we can actually store that on-the-fly generated wallet on the blockchain for you. You can now get access to the NFT, which is stored locally, in this kind of like as a session key. If you don't understand it, it doesn't matter. But the point is that as long as like you left your email or like some other identifying information, which again can be encrypted and stored privately on chain, then you can always come back without the wallet to come back to view your NFT. And from that point, we can then tell you, look, you want to see more NFTs, you want to do more, well, maybe you want to install a wallet and kind of withdraw that wallet from the chain. So,
I think one of the key aspects that you're describing here is like people don't want to go buy an NFT to buy an NFT. They want to watch a movie. They want to mark their affinity with a star. They want to get a ticket to a conference. And I think it's a much stronger sell to tell them, don't worry about the NFT. You're going to buy a ticket to the conference. It happens that it is an NFT that's now in your wallet. You want to access this movie, cool. You go download the movie, you do like you would do on any other normal site, and actually you should know, it happens that now you have an NFT. So again, NFT are building blocks. Nobody goes buy a domain name to buy a domain name. They want to create a website, they want to put their store online, they want to create their blog, they want to create something. They don't care about the domain name. It's the same with NFTs. People shouldn't have to worry about buying NFTs. When I see people, oh, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to mint this, I'm like, what's the point? What is it for? And if it has utility, which is, I guess, the topic of this panel, then people will do it, more than if it's just to, pump it to the next person.
And those are all some really good points. I wish we could keep going, but we run up a little bit here on time, so the last question I have for you all, real quick, what's your favorite NFT?
I love seeing anything with a fun community. So gutter tagging, cool cats. There's been some great early PFP projects that have come out with fun things and have really tried to keep the community vibe alive and had to ride a real roller coaster. What I'm really excited for is the work these guys are doing, where you're unlocking movies and events and subscriptions and all this tech.
I'm biased, so I won't say the obvious, which is Tarantino or Kevin Smith, but I will say that, and again, I'm a bit biased. I'm a holder. There's in Secret Network and Cosmos in general, if you know, there's an amazing community called Anons, which is very similar to Bored Apes, Yacht Club, Cool Cats, all that, but it has some like distinctive features and distinctive ways where the community comes together, and I just feel that the level of depth that you get there is unparalleled. I use it every day for like the last year.
And I'd say some of my favorite NFTs are not collectibles. They're, for example, a liquidity position on Uniswap. That is an NFT, and that's actually a pretty cool NFT in my mind. That is a ticket to a conference that I attended 3 years ago that used NFT at the time, and it feels very like cool. People are actually dogfooding and using our own messages to actually build interesting things.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for being up here with me, and everybody, thanks for being here.